Much has been said about Gautam Gambhir as head coach of India. An assessment is due, a fair one. Not a eulogy, not overtly critical, but a proper, constructively critical assessment trying to understand his contribution and where he can get better. We have spoken to many former cricketers, cricketing legends, and Gautam himself about his contribution to Indian cricket.
Long back as well, a coach.
Gautam himself has candidly spoken about his contribution and where he can improve.
Losing a game of cricket, to win a game of cricket. Because sometimes when you fail losing a game of cricket, you will never win.
Let's take white ball first. In our assessment, he has mastered the T20 format. He has also done extremely well in the 50-over format, though his real challenge will be the 2027 World Cup in South Africa. Under him, India has already won the Champions Trophy, which was a 50-over format. India has won the Asia Cup, which was a 20-over format. And now India has won the World T20, which is once again a 2020 format. Clearly, his white ball record is enviable. Under no coach has India got this level of success. 2 ICC trophies in a matter of 12 months, an Asia Cup. This is something extraordinary and something serious. So while one assesses Gautam Gambhir, you have to say that his white ball record will give him clearly a 80 or 85 out of 100. That's our own assessment. Coming to red ball, Gautam Gambhir has not done well. While Gautam spoke about the transition in Indian cricket and said that the team that played New Zealand and the team that played South Africa were fundamentally different, we have to acknowledge that for whatever reason, his red ball record is not anything to write home about. Shubman Gill's absence in the test match against South Africa, such injuries have also impacted him. Retirements of major legends haven't helped. But whatever be the case, Gautam Gambhir himself will acknowledge and agree that he needs to improve his red ball record. Going forward, Gautam has also expressed wish that he wishes to stay on and continue to be India's head coach up to the 2028 Olympic Games. Massive 2 years coming up for India's head coach if he does stay on. While the last 2 years have been fascinating and interesting, not always great in terms of results, some extraordinary results have indeed made Gautam the most talked about Indian coach. Going forward, Gautam Gambhir will be taking the Indian team to England in June-July. We'll have a very important series against Sri Lanka and then New Zealand, and a 5 test match series on home soil against Australia in January-February. In the white ball format, he will lead the Indian team, South Africa, the 50-over World Cup in October-November of 2027. Then will also be a part of the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia if he does stay on. In 2028, India will have the World T20 where a title defense is very possible. It will be an incredible 3 straight titles if India can, and the 2028 Los Angeles Games. So overall, huge cricket coming up for India's head coach. If we do the ledger today, white ball will be overwhelmingly positive, while red ball, the jury is out. Here's Gautam Gambhir himself and Indian cricketing legends assessing India's head coach in his 2-year tenure so far. Listen in. People are trying to put your players against you. Something like that. I don't remember the exact phraseology of that tweet. Clearly, it refers to Virat and Rohit. Trolls, outside noise, all of that. There is so much talk. Oh, X is against so-and-so, Y is against so-and-so. You guys share the same dressing room. You're winning matches for India. How do you deal with that the head coach is against a senior player, a Virat Kohli, a Rohit Sharma? Obviously, there is pressure. How do you deal with such comments?
Look, you made a very valid comment that I'm human. Yes, I am human, and I should be allowed to make mistakes as well. Well, just like anyone else as well, players should be allowed to make mistakes. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I must have made mistakes in the last 18 months. I don't shy away from that, but I've always believed in one thing. Wrong decision with right intent is acceptable, but wrong decision with wrong intent is absolutely not acceptable in that dressing room. And everyone, be it in this room as well, people should be allowed to make mistakes. Why shouldn't cricketers be allowed to make mistakes? I think they're humans as well. And that's why I say that the question that you asked me, for me, I think it is very simple. Till the time I'm doing everything with honesty, till the time I can be honest to everyone in that dressing room. Not only one or two, everyone, from the masseur to the assistant coach. Till the time I'm honest to everyone, I can look in their eyes and I can talk to them. Looking in their eyes, I think I'm doing a fair job with my position. And that is one thing which I can live with, and that is one thing that I can promise you in last 18 or 20 months, whatever my tenure has been, I think that is something that I can live with.
Champions Trophy, Champions Trophy win, Asia Cup win, World Cup win. 2 ICC trophies and 1 Asia Cup, which is high pressure, in 12 to 14 months. I don't think any coach can boast of that record in white ball. Have you cracked the white ball code, you reckon?
Look, I haven't. I think I've said it long back as well. A coach or a captain only is as good as his team. I haven't. I think the players have. I think players make me successful. Yes, I try and help them out in whatever knowledge I have. But again, I think it's everyone in that dressing room. I think we need to change that ideology. I think I've been trying, and most of us have been trying to change that ideology and that philosophy, that in a team sport, that everyone in that dressing room has made a contribution. Everyone, in whatever capacity they could. And that's why I feel the success needs to go to everyone in that dressing room, from the masseur to the support staff, to the logistic guy, to the assistant coaches, batting, fielding, bowling, everyone, to the players as well. For me, I think everyone has been absolutely honest, and this success exactly goes to them as well. And when you talk about whether I've been able to crack the code, I think all I've done is try and probably tell the players to be absolutely fearless. From day one, I remember when I took up this job, the first thing I said that I'm not going to fear losing a game of cricket, to win a game of cricket. Because sometimes when you fear losing a game of cricket, you will never win. And even in my press conference, I said that gone are those days that we're going to play a game that is going to be around 150, 160. I'm absolutely fine. In fact, getting all out for 100 or a 90. But we got to play high risk, high reward. We got to try and get to 250, 260 consistently. And there will be days where you will, for example, a game like South Africa, we got bundled out, what? We lost the game by 70 or 80 runs. But that is okay. That is fine, because when you play high risk, high rewards, sometimes these things can happen. But again, I feel that cracking the code is not something which I believe in, because if we would have cracked the code, we wouldn't have lost 2 ODI series in last 3. Yes, I can sit here and talk about the white ball success and all that stuff, but I don't shy away from practicality. I don't want to hide away from practicality as well, because I think losing 2 out of the last 3 ODI series, we still need a lot of work to be done in that format.
Red ball? Gautam Gambhir is defined by fight. When I see red ball, India has not had the best results. New Zealand series, recent series against South Africa, the England series was tremendous. I mean, I was there for all 2 matches, all 2 months. India exceeded expectations, but at home results have not gone your way. I'm sure in your mind you've already started formulating from August onwards. What are your red ball plans?
Look, first of all, I don't agree to one thing. When people compare the team that played against New Zealand to the team that played against South Africa, that's not fair. I think people need to do their job properly, because the team that played against New Zealand at home was a completely different team to the team that played against South Africa at home. Yeah, just because you want to collaborate both the series, that's not fair. Yes, you can put me under the pump, that's fine, absolutely acceptable. But you see that playing 11 and you compare that playing 11 to the playing 11 that played against South Africa. You see the experience during that New Zealand series and you see the experience during the South Africa series. Just because I have not spoken about the transition in the past doesn't mean that the transition is not happening. I think if you expect honesty in that dressing room, at least people in that dressing room expect honesty outside as well. Honesty cannot be one-sided. It has to be both ways as well. Selective criticism is not fair. You see the experience that this red ball team has right now. There are 22, 23-year-old boys trying to find their feet in red ball cricket, which is never easy. And when you're replacing people who've played more than 100 test matches, it is never going to be easy. So give them some time. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to criticize the support staff, that's fine. It is my responsibility, results are my responsibility. I will be the first one to put my hand up and say, yes, we haven't got the result, but this is the same team that has got unbelievable success in England. It's the same team. When we spoke about that England probably is going to be the toughest tour for us as a young team going there, a lot of people gave us that chance that we're going to deliver in England, but see what this young team did. So when you're going through a transition, there will always be ups and downs as well. But all I can say is that keep backing them, because this is your team, and honesty has to be both ways. We try and be as honest as we can, because we know that we represent 140 crore Indians, but we also in that dressing room expect honesty from the other side as well, and that backing from other side as well. And I have no doubt that red ball cricket, yes, we'll be fine in future as well, because there's so much talent in that room. Yes, Boria, you've covered cricket for a very, very long time. Test cricket is tough. It's not an easy transition. One day or white ball cricket is a much easier transition, a much easier way to probably build your one day or a T20 squad as compared to red ball squad as well. So for me, I think going forward, I'm pretty confident that these boys, if they keep working the right way, keep working hard, I think we're going to be fine going forward.
Thought on Gautam
Yeah,
Gambhir,
remarkable.
volleyball coach. He's there.
If you remember my first interview with you before they were going to Australia, and they were saying, Gambhir this, Gambhir that, I said, give that fellow a chance. It was on your...
Yes, and it went viral.
And if you can, when he's here, you show it to him. I don't know, give him a chance. Win a T20 World Cup, win a Champions Trophy. Oh, he's a tremendous T20 coach. He's got to get better in test matches, and most importantly, play on good wickets. If he plays on good wickets, he'll be a good test match coach as well. He plays too much on turning pitches in India. Look what he did in England, on good pitches where he didn't have control. So as a coach, he should take the wicket out of his system and just go and play, because he's very good.
I think as a white ball coach with KKR and India, I think as a white ball, he's mastered this format.
In these conditions. So I'm looking forward to the 2027 World Cup. He has to find a way to get better there, because his batting is breathtaking in these conditions. But when it seams, when it bounces, that's where he's got to get his boys better. So I'm sure he'll do it. He's a competitor. He may be rude, rough, but he's a competitor. He does not need to be rude, rough, because he's a good man. I've played with him for India. But he's a competitor. He wants to win. He speaks the right things about his team. Tries to create an environment of team, not individual. So he's good. But I think his biggest test will be when he starts going away, and that's something which he has to master. And I'm sure he will. The player he has, and if Bumrah remains fit,
and you'll have Virat and
he'll do well. Yeah, India can make another team. The T20 team which played in the World Cup, and you have Virat, you have Rohit, you have Rahul, you have Pant, you have Yashasvi, who doesn't get a game.
Even that Suryavanshi chap is outside.
Suryavanshi would play in any team in the world. Suryavanshi, then you have Mohammad Shami, Shreyas Iyer doesn't get a T20 game. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that he doesn't get a spot in the white ball cricket.
He's a great in any other team.
Yeah. Then you got Harshit Rana, you've got Prashid Krishna, you got some more spinners sitting out. Kuldeep doesn't get a game. So India can have another T20 side and still be international team. So
sort of last question. 3 years back, I was struggling. Didn't know where the company was headed. Same room. I was sitting there, and I said, you said, don't worry about it. Things will happen. Be passionate. We are opening our studio. We are now a team of 55. And you kept backing me. You even said, if you need money, take it. I will not forget any of those statements. any help you need, take it. Today we can justly say we are making a difference to Indian sport. Your thoughts on
Wish
the
you all the
studio?
best. Wish you all the best. I saw the pictures on social media. That's why I asked you that, how is it going? All the best. You've done very well after that. And I've always told you, one door closes, the other's open. And as I said, it's never say never for anyone in this world. So wish you all the best. I see you everywhere in the world, going around, traveling, covering cricket, and you must be enjoying it because you love doing that. So, as I said, that's my nature. I don't be bad to people when they're down. It is not a good sign of character. So, and wish you all the best, and you keep doing good things.
Thank you very much. How do you rate Gautam? You mentioned Gautam saying, this whole emphasis on team. But when you look back at the 2 years, he too has been castigated, trolled, saying favoritism. You've dropped Rohit and Virat. You've had done politics against them and all that. But when you look at the impact, you won the Champions Trophy, you won the Asia Cup, you won the World Cup. How do you assess him?
Boria, if somebody has to have angst against Gautam, it's me, right? I come out on his second tour or third tour when he's been the coach, and I come out of...
Can I ask you that then? Let me ask you. I have not asked you because you and I were supposed to meet in Australia, if you remember. I had said I was coming on the 22nd and we were supposed to meet in Melbourne. That retirement came as a shock to me. So 2 parts. You assess Gautam and say, Perth or wherever, there were catches dropped off your bowling. That backpedaling catch was dropped. Key moment in that game, you remember? You were bowling good enough for me to continue for India.
I bowled a couple of days ago. I thought I bowled pretty well in US.
Exactly. Forget US. That tour. Yeah. But my point is, how can you detach in one day? How are you telling us that, I took the call, forget? Were you not bitter? Were you not angry? Were you not frustrated? 537 wickets. This is not fair. And why would you not stay on with the team for 10 more days? Why did you have to come back?
Look, I have this conversation with my parents also. Whenever my dad's a huge well-wisher, right? And he might have some angst from the outside, right? And I think when I came back as well, he said something in the media. I've consistently told him over the last 20 years, do not talk ill of another player when I'm there in the house. And we fought over these things, right? And I have. And for a dad to talk like that is completely justified because it's not just my dream. He's lived his dream through me. So I can understand, but I keep telling him, do not talk ill of another player. The reason I say that is he's got a job to do and he's got his thinking. Gautam, the coach, has got a job to do. For in many ways, even if he thought that I must move on or Virat must move on or Rohit must move on, it's okay, it's fine. Because he has a job to do. And at that particular instance, if I felt bitter about it, that's also okay. Because it's my emotion. But if you detach yourself away from that, it's clear to me that he's got a job to do and maybe I do not have a future in his regime. But I have always wanted to shed ego, first thing in my life. And I'm still in the process of shedding ego. We all are human beings, it comes to us. But if you do away and detach yourself away from the I, things do make sense. Sometimes, because of the adulation we get in this country, we do end up thinking that we are invincible, which is not the case.
Zahir, are you worried about India's red ball? I asked Gautam, he said, look, transition is something I have not publicly spoken about, but you've got to take into account transition. If you compare the team that played New Zealand to the team that played South Africa, you will know how much experience is missing. Are you, say, pitches? Do you need to play on turners? Can you play on good pitches? In England, we played on good pitches, we did well. Are you worried about red ball? And this is not my statement, this is Saurav's statement. Saurav says, quote, he says, Gautam should take the wicket out of his mind. He played on good wickets in England, he had great results. India should not play on turners. Your formula for India's red ball?
I think when you're talking about test matches, when you're talking about red ball, cricket, what is important is the stability, I feel. The more stability you have, identify the players, but you'll have to give them long rope. I think, it's something which is very important when you're talking about red ball cricket. It's important that when you're going through this transition, you're rightly saying, like, approach the game, set. Often you talk about go back to basics. So you just go back to basics of playing test cricket, right? 2 innings, you got to take 20 wickets. You know that you got to bat long hours and approach the game session by session. All those basic things which you often talk about. Set those kind of goals and then let it simmer. I think, the more patient you are with going back to basics and keeping it simplified, approaching it that way, and understanding that, okay, which are the individuals right now which are going to be the match winners. Understandably so that that once you have a few spots which are opened up, individuals are going to put their hand up and say that, okay, I'm ready, right? So you got to identify to the best of your ability and knowledge or instincts that, okay, these are the individuals which are going to make that impact for the test team, and then you just follow the process, keep it simple, and give some time. I think, once you are able to do that, you will see the tide turning around.
रेड बॉल वर्सेस वाइट बॉल गौतम गंभीर, क्योंकि वाइट बॉल में तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि ठीक है 2 सीरीज हम हारे ज़रूर लेकिन जीते भी बहुत कुछ हैं, तो उसे भी हमें ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. एंड देन फिर एक रेड बॉल की अलग लड़ाई है. क्या रेड बॉल के लिए आपके हिसाब से वक्त और दिया जाना चाहिए या फिर यहाँ से कुछ और बदलावों की तरफ बढ़ना चाहिए? क्या टीम में कुछ बदलाव होने चाहिए? क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, आप बेहतर जानते हैं कि स्पिनर्स को हम नहीं खेल पा रहे हैं, अगला चैलेंज श्रीलंका होने वाला है. मैं आपसे जानना चाह रहा हूँ, वाइट बॉल इज़ ही कम्प्लीटली फाइन देयर, और रेड बॉल वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस में क्या दिखता है आपको?
वाइट बॉल, आई थिंक गौतम इज़ ब्रिलियंट. गौतम की अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द गेम इज़ सेकेंड टू नन. ये हमने उनके T20 लगातार, चाहे वो IPL के विनिंग कैंपेन्स हों, बतौर कप्तान, बतौर मेंटोर, उन्होंने वो किया. T20 वर्ल्ड कप जिताया है. आई मीन उसके अंदर भी उनका बहुत बड़ा योगदान है, क्योंकि जितने लोग मैदान पे गए थे, मैं नहीं जाता हूँ आजकल, तो जितने लोग मैदान पे थे वो सब मेरे को बाद में आके यही बता रहे थे कि यानी बॉलिंग चेंजेस हो तो बहुत अच्छे रहे, आप तारीफ तो सूर्या की कर रहे हो, लेकिन ना वो पीछे गौतम का हाथ है उसमें, क्योंकि गौतम हर बार आपको इंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं, अब यहाँ से ये, वहाँ से वो. ही अंडरस्टैंड द गेम ब्यूटीफुली. तो फुल रिस्पेक्ट कि T20 क्रिकेट में तो विदाउट डाउट बहुत ही बढ़िया कर रहे हैं. ODI क्रिकेट में तो वैसे कुछ ज़्यादा बदलाव नहीं है, क्योंकि अभी आपने चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी जीती भी थी. तो चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी लास्ट ICC इवेंट आपने जीता है, वो वनडे का फॉर्मेट था, और उस टीम में कुछ बदलाव की गुंजाइश भी नहीं है. उसमें बहुत मतलब हल्का सा नज हेयर, पुश देयर, उससे ज़्यादा कुछ ज़रूरत नहीं है, और वो शायद 2027 तक भी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. पर टेस्ट क्रिकेट, यस, टेस्ट क्रिकेट के एक्चुअली 2-3 पहलू हैं. एक तो ये कि ट्रांजिशन से गुजर रही है भारतीय क्रिकेट टीम. आपके 3 मैच विनर्स नहीं हैं, और ट्रांजिशन को मैं कहता हूँ कि वो लेबर पेन की तरह है. कि वो एक नए, जब जो जीवन को अगर दुनिया में लाना है, जीव को दुनिया में लाना है, तो फिर वो प्रसव की पीड़ा से गुजरना पड़ेगा. और ये वो पीड़ा है जिसमें आपका विराट कोहली चले गए, रोहित शर्मा चले गए, आपके रविचंद्रन अश्विन चले गए, सडनली 3 मैसिव प्लेयर्स हैव गॉन. और टेस्ट क्रिकेट में सबसे मुश्किल है ट्रांजिशन. पुजारा, उससे पहले पुजारा चले गए, उससे पहले रहाणे चले गए. आई मीन देयर प्लेंटी ऑफ पीपल, जो बहुत चर्निंग हो गई है. तो वो पीड़ा तो हम सबको महसूस हो रही है, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है, वो उनको भी हो रही है. पर क्योंकि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कोच हैं, अगर आप अंडर 19 लेवल के कोच हो ना, तो आपको आपके सफलता के पैमाने जो हैं बहुत अलग अलग होते हैं, कि आपने खिलाड़ियों को कैसे तैयार किया, आपने नेक्स्ट लाइन को क्या किया, किसी को आपने कैसे चलाया. तो वो आपके पैमाने अलग हैं, वो सफलता पे नहीं मापेंगे आपकी ट्रॉफी जीती नहीं जीती. अंडर 19 जीत गए, बहुत अच्छी बात, नहीं जीतते तो भी कोई बात नहीं. लेकिन जब आप अंतर्राष्ट्रीय क्रिकेट में आ गए तो फिर सिर्फ एक ही पैमाना है, वो ये कि रिजल्ट्स क्या हैं. रिजल्ट्स, ये वाली टेस्ट साइकिल अभी भी गौतम के पास है. ये मुश्किल साइकिल है, पर उनके पास है, अभी तक समाप्त नहीं हुई है. और 2 साल के बाद आई थिंक वहाँ पे ज़रूर एक एनालिसिस होगा, जो कि बड़ा ही ऑब्जेक्टिव एनालिसिस होगा, कि आपने 2 साल में, क्योंकि अब 2 साल का समय, 2.5 साल का समय एक्चुअली, तो वहाँ से, क्योंकि न्यूजीलैंड सीरीज़ से आपने टेक ओवर, बांग्लादेश सीरीज़ से एक्चुअली आपने टेक ओवर किया, बांग्लादेश, न्यूजीलैंड, बॉर्डर गावस्कर ट्रॉफी, फिर आप इंग्लैंड गए, फिर आपने घर पे 2 श्रृंखलाएँ खेली. तो देयर इज़ प्लेंटी ऑफ टाइम जो आपने स्पेंड किया है, जिसमें ट्रांजिशन भी आप देख रहे हैं. पर 2027 में ही है अगली WTC का फाइनल. आई थिंक बाय दैट टाइम वहाँ पे ज़रूर आपको वो पता चल जाएगा कि ये गौतम के साथ ही चलना है या गौतम के बिना चलना है. पर उतना टाइम उनको देना ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि ट्रांजिशन से गुजर रही है. अब गौतम खुद तो जाके खेल नहीं सकते, अगर रोहित, कोहली और अश्विन चले गए हैं, तो फिर वैसे खिलाड़ियों को मिलने में लगता बहुत ज़्यादा समय है.